Smack crack and pot. Prohibition is a sickening horror. And the ocean of incompetence, corruption, and human wreckage it has left in its wake is almost endless. Prohibition has decimated generations and criminalized millions for a behavior which is entwined in human existence, and for what other purpose than to uphold the defunct and corrupt thinking of a minority of misguided, self-righteous Neo-Puritans and degenerate demagogues who wish nothing but unadulterated destruction on the rest of us. Based on the unalterable proviso that drug use is essentially an unstoppable and ongoing human behavior, which has been with us since the dawn of time, any serious reading on the subject of past attempts at any form of drug prohibition would point most normal thinking people in the direction of sensible regulation. By its very nature, prohibition cannot fail but create a vast increase in criminal activity, and rather than preventing society from descending into anarchy, it actually fosters an anarchic business model, the international drug trade. Any decisions concerning quality, quantity, distribution, and availability are then left in the hands of unregulated, anonymous ruthless drug dealers, who are interested only in the huge profits involved. Many of us have now finally wised up to the fact that the best avenue towards realistically dealing with drug use and addiction is through proper regulation, which is what we already do with alcohol and tobacco, two of our most dangerous mood-altering substances. But for those of you whose ignorant and irrational minds traverse a fantasy plane of existence, you will no doubt remain sorely upset with any type of solution that does not seem to lead to the absurd and unattainable utopia of a drug-free society. There is an irrefutable connection between drug prohibition and the crime, corruption, disease, and death it causes. If you are not capable of understanding this connection, then maybe you're using something far stronger than the rest of us. Anybody halfway bright, and who's not psychologically challenged, should be capable of understanding that it is not simply the demand for drugs that creates the mayhem, it is our refusal to allow legal businesses to meet that demand. No amount of money, police powers, weaponry, diminution of rights and liberties, wishful thinking or pseudoscience will make our streets safer. Only an end to prohibition can do that. How much longer are you willing to foolishly risk your own survival by continuing to ignore the obvious, historically confirmed solution? If you still support the Kool-Aid mass suicide cult of prohibition, and erroneously believe that you can win a war without logic and practical solutions, then prepare yourself for even more death, corruption, terrorism, sickness, imprisonment, unemployment, foreclosed homes, and the complete loss of the rule of law and the Bill of Rights. A prohibition law strikes a blow at the very principles upon which our government was founded. A quote by Abraham Lincoln. The only thing prohibition successfully does is prohibit regulation and taxation, while turning even our schools and prisons into black markets for drugs. Regulation would mean the opposite.
Regulation would mean the opposite.